Hey all, so today me and Vikaas are going to be covering one of the more controversial figures on the right, Stephen Crowder. Um, he's recently really been on like a streak of bigotry. He's said some extremely messed up stuff recently, and I kind of want to like uncover some of the past of like his channel and all the horrible things he said. But uh, so for some backgrounds, he's a very big figure. If you've seen those change my mind videos and all like the memes associated with that, like in 2018 or whatever, he basically goes on college campuses and like debates a bunch of kids who don't know what they're talking about necessarily. Sometimes I do, respect to them, but he says some really bigoted stuff. He doesn't debate anybody who like knows what they're talking about. Samseder. If you've seen that. But yeah, we're just gonna dive into some clips today. Some of the most messed up stuff he said, because I really want to make the impression pretty clear that he's not a good person.
And before we dive in, so obviously I have my reservation on Crowder, but I'm trying to go into it with an open mind and see how bad the Steven Crowder guy is, and I'm trying to see how much we should avoid him and how we should assess him. And quite an interesting coffee I have there, Ryan.
What did you say? Oh
Quite an
yeah,
interesting
no,
coffee.
I'm sorry. I get a cold sometimes. Right.
I
Okay.
got you.
So let me share screen.
Uh,
You better have audio this time. So Jason Campbell tweets, gay men are definitely more predatory in nature as far as recruiting. Adding, you need to understand the risk, particularly with young boys in your household as it comes from this community. All right, I'll cover that exact statement as it comes up, but let's dive into this video. I'm excited. First off, I gotta point out, you gotta love the man in a cape calling a bunch of gay men pedophiles.
it's what Superman's like
Oh
after
yeah.
like Steven looks like one of those like guys like he probably tried to show up to an acting audition, right? Like Superman cape and all, but he turned it down. So he's like back home, like reworking material, trying to do some comedy, but like doesn't really come across well. So let's give it a shot. Let's see what's up
Yeah.
to.
All right, man.
I think women generally, and I mean this, don't fully understand the danger at play, particularly from gay men. They are definitely more predatory in nature as far as recruiting than women, because men.
Does he have a
Recruiting.
source? Like, is he just going to come out that any source? And what's his basis in?
Oh
Like,
yeah, trust me, that there's nothing the whole time. His like stick is he presents a bunch of info and just says do your own research. But the truth is, he's just like expecting his viewers to agree and not do their own research, just so they can peddle the conservative talking points that he spews. Anyway, he basically has nothing. He doesn't research. He just says things, and there's many more examples in this video specifically. Let's
nice,
continue.
yeah.
More sexually predatory in nature.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of women just think, oh, he's just catty, and I always have, women always love having gay friends. And I mean, I've known that for a long time, and I understand you're comfortable because it's like being with a woman, but they don't often understand the world when we're talking about sexuality that men live in. And so you don't see it nearly as hypersexualized, for example, with lesbian women to the same degree that you do with gay men. No. Look,
you see the amount they sexualize lesbian women, like in the amount that like straight men do that to lesbian women is insane. Like,
And the thing is, he has like a bunch of yes men too. Like you always see like the guy like.
Yeah, they're not in this video, which is fortunate. I can't stand them, but we'll see them in the last one. But this might be really inappropriate. But like if you go on any adult entertainment site, one of the
We can cut it there. We know what Doyle's talking about. We know what people.
You know what I'm saying, but one of like the top categories straight men look at is lesbian women.
Yeah.
They ultimately, he's
We're just
totally full of it.
yeah.
They're definitely more sexualized than gay men.
here's the issue with the homosexual community with men. that I need women to understand, because often like, well, what's the harm in going to drag queen story hour? Okay. Any woman who has been in a sexual relationship with a man, okay? Think of all the times that the man wanted to have sex, which was pretty much always, and you said, not right now. Now remove the not right now. That's every gay couple.
Okay. So
I
there's a
don't think-
lot to dive into there.
Wait, so is he trying to propose that gay men are rapists or something? Like,
I mean, we'll get to that part. He's making even more accusations in that department, but
he's tweaking at this point. Like,
yeah, he's
his someone needs to call up his doctor. So the doctor gave him 2 strong prescriptions. Like, my G's tweaking fully. Like, Steven, who's doing this to you, man? Like, you got to get clean, man. You got to go to rehab soon.
Yeah, but what he's saying, he's basically saying that men can't control themselves. They must, like push themselves onto other people. And
wait, so is he saying that men are weak? Like, so first
he's saying that they're way more driven by that. And usually the point that a lot of conservatives like Dennis Prager and the late, thankfully dead Rush Limbaugh, yeah, I'm gonna get a lot of.
But like, thing is right, like,
that,
so
yeah,
so
no, they push
Trump
that women should absolutely just like submit to all the desires of men, and he makes that stereotype really clear, and he's extremely like that's not how men
So my
work.
question to you
People have
conservatives
self-control.
See, I have a question to you conservatives. Like, so obviously you guys want to build strong men. Like, that's a noble idea. But how are you going to say you want to build strong men, but like won't want to have self-control, right? Like, I want us men to be stronger too, but we got to have self-control if we want to be stronger, right? Like, or else we're just like weak to our urges.
Yeah. Okay, let's continue with this lovely show.
That's why almost none are monogamous. Statistically, it's true. A very, very small percentage of gay couples are monogamous. Why? Because men can have unfettered sex with...
Remember that point you made earlier, Vikaas, about how he just like throws out statistics and basically says, do your own research?
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah, what he just said is horse shit. There is nothing like one thing that would actually make sense though is gay men only got like the right to marry like 6-7 years ago, or just homosexual marriage was only like legalized around that time, like 2015 about. But yeah, so ultimately they never had traditional marriage for a while. So they've been driven to like other means, and like poly relationships have been more of a thing, especially among like young people who are turning out more to be homosexual because they're more open, less conservative. But yeah, I mean, he's full of it. It's just wrong. Most people.
I mean, I won't comment on poly relationships, but like you can't.
I mean, that's fine. They can do it.
You can't categorize a whole group of people as being this way. Like, isn't that what stereotypes are? Like, conservatives, right? You guys hate being grouped as racist, right? Like all conservatives, like guys like Crowder are doing that to other people. So like, you can't really be into stereotyping like that. So yeah.
Exactly. Let's continue.
No emotional connection, and guess what? It feels good, and this is why you have a hyper.
What the hell?
Sexualized community. This is why AIDS was exclusive to the gay community in the United States, despite.
Ooh.
It wasn't though, like.
Yeah, it was not. One sec. He's going to continue on this.
Fauci lied about it initially. Your chance of getting AIDS right now in this country as a heterosexual, monogamous, non-drug using male is 0%. And it's.
Yeah. Okay. That's complete. He's literally proposing that straight people can't get AIDS.
So just one question. Are we sure this guy's serious, or is he just like, is he like an Alex Jones type, or is he like an actual serious voice?
I don't know. He tries to. He's not trying to peddle conspiracies just for fun. He's literally just trying to make the point that straight people don't get AIDS, and 100% of gay people have it. Like, just do your own research. It just like appears in them.
Yeah. So honestly, like. At this point, we've said everything there's about it. We just let this clip play out. Just let the audience.
Yeah. There's more though. Oh, trust me, it gets so much worse.
Statistically zero, even if you haven't been entirely monogamous. Let's just be clear about that. And this is a message to mothers out there, because I think fathers always inherently, at least, understand what they're overly protective of young girls, generally speaking, and then they are generally speaking more aware of how they need to be protective with young boys. It's why often women don't understand how young boys are bullied.
Yeah.
because it's very different from how young women are bullied. And so you need to understand the risk, particularly with young boys in your household, as it comes from this community. And what do I mean by this community? I mean men who have kids climb on them, show them their crotchless nylons, and do drag queen story hour.
Okay, so I've said pedophilia is bad, but how are all gay people pedophiles? This man tweaking or something. Like, how are all gay people? I'm not gonna say anymore. Like,
Yeah,
he's just tweaking. Okay.
The point. So yeah, he's basically trying to accuse all gay men of being pedophiles, which is a common conservative talking point, which I don't know, probably from like the 1950s or earlier on. That's been used to oppress the gay community.
Yeah.
And that kept it illegal. It's one of the main reasons. But you know, the GOP, maybe they should look at that more than a bunch of gay people.
I mean, like, there's actual pedophilia within, like, our politics and Republican Party. Like,
I mean,
how
they're
is he not gonna call
defending
that out?
Matt Gaetz right now.
Where's he? Why is he not calling out his boy Matt Gaetz? Like,
Yeah.
why is he not come collecting his like other guys out there? Like, there's tons of pedophiles like in the Republican Party and the Democratic Party too. Why can't he come collect those guys? Like, why is he talking about like gay people have nothing to do with this?
Right. And then also he mentions drag queen story hour. There's like 7 seconds left. I'm just gonna let them play out. Then we'll dissect that point a little bit. Then we'll move on to the next clip.
It's not just fun and a little bit peppy or spicy. It's a problem, and you need to be aware of how they're marketing to your kids.
All right, so you can already see some of the fear mongering he brings on in that clip.
Wait, hold on. Does he kind of remind you of Michael Scott? Like, I swear this guy's just Michael Scott as a person.
Oh, come on.
Like the way he talks, like, yes,
Michael
I'm sure.
Scott was like a good character. All right, no, he was just no. He does not remind me of Michael Scott.
No, just the way he talks and the way he like talks and delivers speech. Like, yup.
Yeah. Okay. So drag queen story hour. I'm presuming like 2. You know what that is.
Will Michael have some charisma though?
So it's basically this really disturbing thing where a bunch of like kinkily dressed men in drag go and read stories to children alone and do some no, it's literally this. It's someone in like a funny costume reading stories to kids as their parents are around. That's fine. It's completely fine.
I mean, I'm not gonna comment on that, but like, not all gay people are drag queen story hour. Even if you have a problem with this, like not all gay people are that. Like,
yeah, right. I mean, just look at how evil this is, right?
Let's move on to the next clip, man.
You know what I'm saying? He's just pushing terrible points.
Yeah, next up.
All right, next clip. So he's about to start off with a slur, so trigger warning, discretion advised, whatever. You get it.
Darn tranny. It's always giving me problems with them. That's the last time I drive a Chevy. I'll tell you that. Anyway, this week I changed my gender and went to Planet Fitness.
Okay, so the gist of this video, he's going to go to Planet Fitness while dressed as a woman.
He's definitely like the one guy like who wants to do dark humor but just can't do it right, you know? Like,
yeah, right.
That's like Chappelle or Chris Rock. They can do it easily, but like then there's just this guy who can't do anything for his life.
He's gonna go in expecting a bunch of people to criticize him. Also, he started out with a slur, and it was only a one-time thing. It was 2015. He doesn't like to market that stuff.
But anyways, Caitlin Bennett.
Oh, what's this? Oh, is that his new shirt? Oh, it's socialism is for figs. You know, that's that. It's not like that. That's a thing that people say, and he's not implying anything. He's not trying to just mark it off of homophobia or anything. That'd be crazy.
Anyways, like Caitlin Bennett better come collect her guys though.
Right. Yeah. Let's get into this. We'll just watch.
I'm trying to not make a scene. I'm just asking you a question.
So this week there was a big controversy at Planet Fitness when this person wanted
2015. This was like more open. He could do this more. But holy hell. Okay.
to use the ladies' restroom. One lady felt uncomfortable, complained, at which point her membership was promptly revoked because, you know, tolerance. The transgender community touts this as a major victory where many women feel less safe. To those of you who don't know, one of my first videos ever...
Yep, because all transgender people are sex offenders. He's kind of pushing a narrative here. You sense it kind of the last video, going back to this in 2015.
I wonder like who's paying him to do this. Like, you think he's doing it all of his own accord?
He's a
Like,
grifter. He apparently acts pretty normal, like not on camera. I think like Blair White said at one point. But in front of the camera, he's just extremely bigoted because it gets him money, it gets him clicks.
Money makes the world spin, you know?
Gets a bunch of revenue.
Yeah.
Money corrupts.
on this channel was about Planet Fitness. Had nothing to do with transgender people, but the fact that a judgment-free gym ironically happened to be the most judgmental place I'd ever been in my life. They've even gone as far as to create a lunk alarm as to make athletes or serious trainees feel uncomfortable, unwelcomed, and, well, a little bit judged. So why?
I'm pretty sure that's what happens when you like drop a weight or something like that you're not supposed to do at a gym. Regretfully, I don't go to the gym, so I don't know this for a fact, but it's going to ring later on, and he's gonna like use it to push his narrative. But it's
what even is a lunk alarm though? Like, is that it's just like an alarm that?
I think so. I don't know. I think like if you drop a barbell from like high up, what you're not supposed to do, it pushes an alarm. But let's just continue. It'll go off later.
Yeah,
Decided to push the boundaries and see just where Planet Fitness's non-judgment of transgender people ends and their harsh judgment of successful athletes
All right, that dog's cute.
begins. We call this our Trans Lunk Extravaganza!
You know, your son looks like a to me.
How dare you? How dare you?
That shit flat though. Yeah, he works out his upper body. He's kind of missing the lower part, you know? He seemed like that.
Skip.
What's up?
Can you skip? Like, I just can't.
Yeah, I know, it's painful, right? But this is the kind of guy he is. This is what he posted.
Fan.
You're right, you're right. Skip 6 seconds.
Hi. Doing well. How are you? First timer. Oh, I like everything's color branded. It's so. I feel like I stepped into Star Wars. Stairmasters are here.
Notice how they don't care.
Do you have? You don't have a squat rack at all? Okay, so that would be the closest thing. Forget them. I'd forget my head if it wasn't attached. Okay, just one thing. Careful to your back. You can hurt your back. It's a little rounded. Just make sure it's flat. Excuse me. I just need just some help to get the weight up, and in case just in case for safety. But I should be good. Help me get these weights just up. Just help lift them up.
Notice how he's making the scene and no one else cares at all.
Have you ever like watched Nelk? Like,
No. What is that?
it's sort of like a prank channel, but it's just like second grade Nelk in my opinion. Like, this is like a
Right, yeah.
it's like brand value Nelk.
Gotcha. Okay. The one guy was just a good sport. He was like, yeah, I'll get the weight for you. And no one cares at all. Even though he's trying to seem obnoxious, they're just like, fine.
And, like, he has no.
It's kind of like if you watch Caitlyn Bennett and people just push like progressive, they just say like progressive things about like trans people and just like, yeah, it's cool, do what you want. As like Caitlyn Bennett makes a scene. This is that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Let's continue. What did I just...
So there you go. One. Perfect. Thank you. Yes.
Good sport.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. I was good. Thank you. I just need help lifting up. Okay. What was that?
What we described earlier. It's yeah.
Oh. It's trying to run away. I said it was trying to run away from me. It's trying to skedaddle.
This is painful. I'm gonna go for it a bit.
Agree.
Oh no, we're getting to the good stuff in a second.
Serious?
So that first day, I was flagged as a lunk. They even had bright lights and giant loud sirens.
Giant loud whistles.
After this, I was officially banned from Planet Fitness. I tried to join another location, but had already been flagged as seen here.
But why are you telling me that I'm insincere?
Because I know who you are.
How do you know who I am?
Every day.
Are you saying that because
Dude, he knows. He knows this Crowder.
it's a pre-transition ID? Is that why?
Every day.
But how do they know that I'm not sincere? Honestly, I told them that I want to be a woman and want to use the ladies' restroom. That's about as much proof as anyone else is providing these days. Who are they to tell me that I am not a woman or I don't choose to be a woman? Unless we're going to submit all of ourselves to a physical before we take a tinkle. What's the barometer? Where's the line? Should there be a line at all? Let me know. Comment below. This is the point where we note that Planet Fitness has been notoriously discriminatory in actually kicking out people for being pro-life or for looking too strong.
All right, this is getting stupid. But you get the point. He goes in, makes a scene. This
He
is the
realized
kind of
that
thing he does.
He realized that people can distinguish genuine intentions from fraud, right? Like,
Yeah, exactly. And
Yeah,
you can
go on
tell
to the
he's
next
like making a scene and actually trying to like make them angry. And he set off like that alarm twice, even though he knew he couldn't have done that. I feel like he did it just to get kicked out.
yeah. So yeah, let's go watch the next one.
Anyway, so this next one is extremely racist, and this was like 3 months ago, I believe.
So let's go to watch.
Yeah. A lot of you may know what this is. This got him like demonetized, and suspended for a while from his account. Rightfully so. Let's get into this.
Many farmers of color, but they did, and 5.2 billion are being allocated exclusively for colored farmers. Farmers of color, roll the tape.
We begin today's show looking at a major provision in President Biden's $1.9 trillion COVID relief bill that aims to address decades of discrimination against Black, Hispanic, Native American, and Asian American farmers who've historically been excluded from government agricultural programs. The American Rescue Plan sets aside $10.4 billion for agriculture support and allocates about half the funds to farmers of color who are, quote, subjected to racial or ethnic prejudice because of their identity as members of a group, unquote. The U.S. Commission on Civil Rights confirmed as long ago as 1965 the U.S. Department of Agriculture discriminated against Black farmers, but little was done to address the problem. 100 years ago?
Yeah, most happy.
All right, so pause. You could tell that this is like a very good thing, and there's not much you could do to make fun of it. Because
I don't like Biden, but like big ups for actually.
No, this is a very good move. This is like
Yeah.
one of the better things he's done. He's
Like-
addressed better points. Like
I think like
not
even
literally the same as Trump.
even the conservatives we know, right? I think even they would admit that this is probably a decent policy, right? Like
Yeah, exactly.
there's Crowder's just off the deep end. So let's see what he's trying to say.
Yeah, he's about to push this. Like he's about to say something extremely horrible about something so like net like good, because Black farmers have had like a lot of trouble in our country. Like just-
Native Americans too, but like
yes, exactly. Me too. But
yeah,
let's get into this. It's about to get really racist.
About the new policy, these people. So yeah, I'm gonna buy a plow, man.
I'm gonna plant that corn.
Go get a John Deere. Barack Obama, mother. I'm the president of plowing that ass. You.
So yeah, if you've heard of, oh god, no, if you've heard of like minstrel shows and shit, that's basically what he's doing. It's that kind of like Rush Limbaugh.
he probably like watched one
Bush
Key
and
and
Obama, yeah.
he probably like watched one Key and Peele skit, like took the wrong thing and like just did the
Yeah.
comment completely wrong, delivered it wrong, made himself look like an idiot and just went on with it.
Right. It gets worse. Trust me. Just bear with
Yeah.
me.
I thought the last thing they would want to do is be farmers. Wasn't that a big problem
Yeah.
for hundreds of years?
Yeah. Isn't that why Arsenio Hall called himself the urban man's Johnny Carson?
I think so.
Yeah, I don't know. Are people lining up out in the middle of cornfield, Iowa for new dunks?
How would you prove this, by the way? Like, how would you prove that you've been discriminated
You don't
against?
have to. You just
well, I
say.
didn't get that loan. Sir, you had no credit. Well, that should not have stopped me from getting the loan.
I planted a Hennessy tree, but it's not growing.
Well, technically it did grow, but that shit ain't XO.
I put it in the ground.
I planted a VSOP XO tree. I'm getting in some niche esoteric cognac humor, motherfucker.
Don't white people just go to their neighborhoods and build urban farms and ruin their communities? Isn't that what
That's
how it works?
In Detroit. Turns out the soil content, there's a high level of meth.
Yeah, crazy. Whoa.
Wow, I didn't know.
That and teeth.
There's
random teeth littered everywhere.
And by the way,
pain in my arugula.
Yes. I don't think you've shown anyone, Quarterback. You did all this effort for the set. And yeah,
wow.
look.
Look at that.
Do your job.
All right, that was painful. Right? Yeah.
Just a bunch of racist stereotypes. Like,
There's
my
not
guy
even
just
much I have to say about that. People are literally just trying to like farm, and he's saying, "Oh, there's meth in the dirt," and Obama's gonna. I'm not saying this.
he realized that, like, a black farmer may or may not have actually fed him, right? Like, how's trying? This is literally
right.
exploiting the hand that fed you, right? Like,
It's just extremely messed up.
I wonder, like, Steven treats like the employees at like Starbucks or McDonald's. He probably like treats them with contempt, you know, like.
No, well, I mean, apparently he acts normal, like offset, but he does
Oh.
this for the money, and this is what the audience sees, and that's what they get out of Crowder.
He has no morals.
Yeah, it's just messed up, man.
Nasty guy.
There's a bunch of other horrible stuff he's done before. One time there was a artist, street artist, who was just painting like a mural on the side of a building, which he was paid to do. And Steven Crowder walks up and he starts questioning him and like excessively, and says, "Oh, you're not allowed to do this," and does it on camera and completely goes on, if I what was it? Yeah, the guy was black, so he basically said the guy was arguing, if I was white, you probably wouldn't have bothered me. And truth be told, yeah. He then went on to like cause a big scene, and I'm pretty sure he ended up like calling the cops. I could be wrong, but it's pretty much where it ended up. You can watch a video on this, do your own research, as Crowder would say. But he's done something incredibly.
Here's Crowder, and like Crowder stands in the comment below. I know you guys are gonna attack us, but
go for it.
Honestly, look at it from an open mind, you know, like pretend like you're not a Crowder fan, pretend you're just like a casual observer, right? And like see what he's saying here and like how he's acting. Like a lot of conservatives I know they differ from me in opinion, but they still treat people decently like I do, unlike this tool on camera right here. But so like pretend like you're just a normal, decent human being and look at what Crowder's doing, you know? And then maybe you can see the problems. And Crowder, like, if he can act normal in person, why not just do that same in here? Like, why didn't he put on such a persona just for money? Like, you seem like
well, that's what the people want to see. That's what he's paid to do. That's what gets him his views.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, he's one of the bigger like gateways kind of into the alt-right. He's one of the more openly homophobic like YouTubers there is. Yeah, there's not much more I could say, but thanks for watching, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Ultimately it's really good to just kind of address this sort of thing and understand like who's peddling nonsense and like dangerous stuff. Anyway, thank you guys. See you next video.
Watching.